Shalom from Jerusalem, and this week of Sfirat Omer, counting the Omer, is the week of Netzach. We were speaking in our previous videos that God wanted to give maximum goodness to the creation, so He created human being in His image and likeness, because only being created in image and likeness we can receive everything that the giver can give. And this being in the image and likeness not only make us very complex, but it also gives us something that makes us godlike, which is creativity and the free will. And because we have uniqueness and creativity in the free will, the Sphira of Tiferet, which is Sphira of beauty, of harmony, is not enough, because this Sphira allows us, this manifestation of God, from every detail feel the harmony of entire creation. So on that level it's not important which detail and when we are looking at, because we can get to the infinity and feel the harmony through everything. But because we're unique, because we have potential that we uniquely need to actualize, and only we can do it using our free will, that creates necessity, because that's a pleasure, the greatest pleasure in life, of course, it's meaningful creativity. So God creates another manifestation which is called Netzach, and Netzach makes actually interesting things finite, because Netzach translates as eternity or victory or conductor, but it makes things finite, but it also makes things unique. So you see what happens now, it's really important when certain things happen, where a certain influence happen, a certain action happen. Why? Because, and where's the eternity in this? Because you see, once something happened, and this is a unique, something unique that happens. For example, Jews receive Torah. Let's give an example. Something that happened in time and space, but it changes the world forever. Not only such great and obvious occasion, right, changes things forever, but even when you are listening to a lecture, and a lecturer gives you a concept. Now, you understood the concepts, understanding and especially integrating concepts changes you. So next concepts come to already a changed person. So what does it mean? It means that previous one is still continue working. How long would it be working? It will be working forever, because once it's changed, once it's influenced, it's continue working. That's the eternity of Netzach. What does it tell us? It says that every moment is very, very significant. Every moment have potential to change things forever, right? In a very positive way. And also, if something is created negative, we have to correct it, and of course God in His mercy creates system such way that says that Baal Tshuva, the person who changes, is not the same person, can get on a even higher level, right? But again, the influence is not lost. It did exist, that it's created the positive changes, maybe even with some pain, right? But the influence was there. So Netzach create values and create system of values. What's more important to me, for my inner growth, for actualization of my potential, for revelation of my creativity? What's more important right now, next minute, the next minute? So the system of values, the ultimate system of values given us by God is, of course, Torah. And the person who integrates the most is Moshe Rabbeinu, and that's why he is archetype of Netzach. So Chesed Shebenetzach tell us that our values should be oriented on kindness, on Chesed, on goodness. Now, what's opposite is our egotism, of course. The values can be oriented on egotism, or even evil. We see that some criminals, what does it mean, the best criminal? It's a person who does the worst thing, so the system can be turned around 180 degrees. But again, remember, that we have to learn to orient our values towards the goodness and not the egotistic values. Now, on the other hand, Chesed tells us that the values have to be real. It's not imaginary. People appoint values very often, and they believe in certain values that are not true. even secular people realize, for example, that Ten Commandments, it's real. And it reflects the reality. That's what really we're talking about. So, also a very important point here is that self-worth. Self-worth is innate. Our rabbis tell us, don't try to feel worthy because of something. Because when you attribute it to your intelligence, education, beauty, anything, right? So that's the wrong value. That's not chesed-oriented. Chesed-oriented means that you are soul created by God, unique soul, as good as any other soul and as valuable as it is. So that's a little bit about Chesed Shebenetzach. Gevura Shebenetzach talks about the necessity of discrimination between the values. People who don't learn how to discriminate, meaning what's valuable, what's less valuable, can stuck at the same job for many years, in the same relationship for many years, in the same routine, because the people just don't know how to choose what is more valuable, what less valuable. People come for therapy, for example, or people meeting somebody to marry. It's very often that's what we ask. We say, okay, let's put something on one scale and another scale. What's more valuable for you? What's the consequence you can live with? What's the consequence you cannot live with? So that gives people clarity. So Gevura Shebenetzach teaches us, this system of looking what valuable is more. Another is where the borders of certain commandment. Let's say we have a commandment to respect our parents. It's an important value. But the Torah tells us, if our parents tell us to break Torah, to go against it, we are told not to listen to that, right? So where does it stop? Where does it start? This is very, very important. The Tiferet Netzach talks about timing. If something is valuable, remember the Tiferet is being able to look at one particular prat in one particular part of creation and sees the harmony of the entire thing. So how does it fits into the harmony of the entire thing? This particular value. What is the right time? Is time is right to do this or not? Because you can win the battle and lose the war. We all know it very well. You can tell something to a kid and it will have an immediate effect, but in the long run it can be very defeating in relationship as well. So timing is also very important. And remember, Adam and Rishon did not wait, and we have a problem. Jews with the golden calf did not wait, and we have a problem with that. So, that's very important. Netzach, Shebenetzach talks about the uniqueness. People don't recognize their own uniqueness. And that's very important to recognize that we are totally unique, and things that we can do in this world, nobody else can do in this world. And we really, really integrate that. Integrate in uniqueness, that the value is not just a broad value, right? But our unique contribution, if you will. Now, Yesod Shebenetzach tell us that if the value, the most important value, lose connection to the source, to the creator, then it's become an idol worship itself. Let's look at freedom. See, freedom gives us ability to grow, to connect to God, and that's why this is so important. Now, when the freedom becomes the value in itself, then all of a sudden the liberal says, look, because of the freedom, I have to allow the pornographers to speak and present their material. Neo-Nazis speak and present the material. So what happens is that, see, all of a sudden the value becomes the most important, become idol worship. So, and that happens with every single value. If commandment is not connected to God, is no longer a commandment. So we have to be very important there. And finally, the Malchus is integration. So when we integrate the value, it becoming us. And you know that, you just say to a person, I'm not going to do it because it's not me. It's below me, it's beneath me. So it's become internal part of us. We become the value, and value become us. And this is Malchus. So I want to wish everybody a great week from Jerusalem. Shalom, shalom.